Hi everyone, this is PhoneArena, and today we have for you the Samsung Corby II. It's the second generation of the Corby phone, a featured mini compact phone, and we'll take a look at how this looks like. You can see straight from the box we have a black, yellow, and we have the white version right here. So you have plenty of choice for the back cover. And it's a feature phone. It doesn't have any operating system on it. So that's what you're looking at, a 3.14-inch screen, a relatively compact body. But before we take a look at its functionality, let's just first take a look at the design of the Corby II. As we said, first thing you notice when you fire up the phone is the 3.14-inch screen. It's a capacitive touch screen. As you can see, there is a slight lag, but it registers taps and flicks rather accurately. If it wasn't for this slight lag in the execution. Except for that, it's a rather mediocre screen, which say it has rather average viewing angles, but it's expected given the low price of the Samsung Corby II. You also have the earpiece on top and 3 physical buttons, one for picking up a call, then one for hanging up, and then one for accessing the main menu. Then you have a mic on the bottom. On the right side, you have a micro SD card slot, which allows cards for up to 16 gigabytes. That's how it looks like. You also have the lock key, and on top you have a 3.5mm standard headset jack. You have a micro USB, lid protected micro USB slot, and you have a volume rocker. On the back you have a 2-megapixel very basic camera with no flash, and it's a fixed focus unit. We'll speak more about this later. You also have the speakerphone on the back, and that rounds up the design of the Samsung Corby. It's relatively light, and despite being plastic, see here, you see the glossy plastic, it's rather sturdy and it feels nice to hold. When we speak about the Samsung Corby II, we have to mention that it's a feature phone, so you shouldn't expect any extensive customizations like additional themes or applications. But you do get widgets, just a couple of them actually. You have the buddies now and a couple of other useful widgets that you can add on your home screens by just transferring them to it. So let's just add the buddies now widget like this, and here you go. It creates a new home screen and you can just quickly access your contacts, but except for that you don't have much options for customization. You also have a drop down on top, just like an Android or in other operating systems. From here you can just quickly access your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and silencing options. Overall, we find the interface running rather smoothly, but the capacitive touchscreen registers touch and flicks with a slight delay. You can see how the picture continues rolling after we flick the screen, which is definitely not a good thing. And that's how the keypad looks on the Samsung Corby II. You also have your contacts organized in groups and favorites if you wish to organize them in such a way. The biggest letdown in the Corby II is its keyboard. It doesn't support QWERTY input, so it has a pretty decently sized screen. So they could have added a QWERTY on-screen input, but you only get this traditional keypad, so you're stuck with this type of typing. You can also use writing full screen and writing box. These are your only input options. One of the nicest applications on the Samsung Corby II is the Social Hub, which integrates all your social networking accounts into one place, and that's where you can make use of the Wi-Fi connectivity offered with the Corby II. So let's take a quick look at the Facebook application. It's nicely realized. You have different tabs, and you can easily look at your home screen or your wall. You also have in the main menu, you also have a couple of other neat applications. You have a rather basic browser, and you have a separate Facebook and Twitter client. You have also internet messaging, including Gtalk, Facebook, Yahoo Messenger, and Windows Live Messenger. And we're quite happy to see Facebook and Gtalk in here. And in terms of the camera, you have a rather basic 2-megapixel fixed focus camera, so you shouldn't expect much of it. So let's switch to the camera menu. So here you can see that you have a couple of options. You can choose different shooting modes like smile shots, panoramas. Here you can also tune some of the settings like white balance and exposure metering, but you don't get much detail on a 2 megapixel camera, and the colors are slightly washed out. And when you switch to video capture, you only get a QVGA resolution, which is only good for viewing on a very small screen like the one of the Corby II. And if you want to look at the video on a larger screen, it's practically unusable. Unfortunately, the Samsung Corby II doesn't support multi-touch, so if you try to pinch to zoom, it doesn't work. And that's actually the gallery application that we have right here, and doesn't also have accelerometer, so trying to switch the screen doesn't yield any results. You have to actually check back to real size and then switch this toggle right here, and you get a landscape view of the picture. And except for that, the gallery application runs smoothly, and we're happy to see that, but it's just the quality of the camera which is not brilliant. And in terms of media playback, you get support for MPEG-4 videos, and actually that's the codec that's the encoding that the Corby II uses to record its own videos. You have a couple of them. One of the biggest drawbacks of this handset is the YouTube client. It actually doesn't have a dedicated YouTube client. It would rather redirect you to the mobile version of the website, and that's where things get a bit ugly, and the YouTube client is just stuck buffering in our case. So we couldn't play back any videos from YouTube, and that was a major letdown for the Corby II. The Samsung Corby II comes for a relatively low price tag of just around $175 off contract. So you can definitely take a look at this, but except for the low price tag, you don't get much. You just have Wi-Fi support and a slightly larger screen than the original Corby at 3.14 inches. Except for that, the design is a close copy of the Samsung Galaxy Mini, which you can get for just $40 more. So you could definitely look at the Samsung Galaxy Mini, which offers much more customization with Android as an operating system. Had it come a year or 2 years ago, the lack of multi-touch, accelerometer, customization options, QWERTY input, or a useful YouTube client wouldn't be that much of a problem to us. But nowadays, for just $40 more, you can get a full-fledged Android smartphone like the Galaxy Mini. So that's what tipped the decision for us. For an in-depth view of the Samsung Corby II, check out PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching.